Hello from the Buffalo Bill Farm and Ranch Expo. I'm Susan Littlefield. It's time to take a look at what's going on in this world of markets today. As Don Roose joins us. He is with U.S. Commodities. And let's start out the fact that we got a little challenge action going on in this corn market, Don, especially when we look at some of those old highs.
Yeah, I think what's happened in the corn market is we retraced all the way back to where we were in the spring, the May 15th to 19th level, and kind of stalled. So we'll see a little pullback on technical selling, and I'd call it tariff fatigue, Susan.
You talk about this tariff fatigue, and how long do you think this is going to weigh in on what we see in the markets? Is this just going to be a 1 week thing and we'll kind of get used to the idea?
Well, I don't think so. I think it's going to be one of those we're going to shift out and see once what we really have. February 10th, China ramps up the tariffs on the U.S., so we'll see. And then we've got a 30-day pause with Mexico and Canada. So we'll see what happens on that end of it. But we do know one thing, that ultimately if tariffs, if we do get into a tariff war, it's not a positive. It's usually a negative, Susan.
And do we see that right now with China? Because they're the only ones that seem to not be at the negotiating table.
Yeah, and I think if you look at China, it looks like they're kind of a slow walk. They're, put tariffs on, but on in the future, but on selective things. So they're, and of course, Mexico and Canada kind of backed off here for 30 days. So I would say it's kind of like President Trump said, we're kind of the pot of gold. So tariffs are working for now. And we'll see if anybody gets a little bit tougher. But meantime, we got a harvest coming at us in Brazil, and that's starting to ramp up, Susan.
I was just going to ask you about that. How are things looking for you guys down there?
Well, I think number one, it's been wet in the north, where let's just call Brazil about 11% harvested. Bags are in short supply. About 15% of the farmers have storage, so you can see not much rely on some of these bags. Been muddy on the road conditions, slowing down travel. So, but the harvest is accelerating, and it will going forward, Susan.
Look forward to the opportunity to get a chance to talk with you more about it later this afternoon. And saying that, Don Roose will be joining us this afternoon for the Channel Final Bell. If you happen to miss it, you can pick it up as a podcast at ruralradionetwork.com. I'm Susan Littlefield for the Rural Radio Network.